Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
That's my favorite video.
Seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spin shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the standing tail. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the Most High. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pot. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I did. A man reach out to God before he died? Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for less. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile legs. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thugging with Lucky, that nigga left me for dead. Endured to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. Shit, I don't really speak, cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Fans taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man. Dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad. Telling me how the crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really see prophets under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Round with Yarada, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember, I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah. Yeah. All right. Shalom, Israel. We got an ISUPK start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're under commanding General Yohanan. We're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group or any other group or organization, period. I'm Priest and Officer 1000 Kawan. This is ISUPK Louisiana Sabbath service. We're going to pick up where we left off. Officer Itazab left off last week. The book of Exodus, chapter 36. And he ended at 31. We'll pick up at verse 32. We'll go ahead and begin the Sabbath service. LOUISIANA, which means to Israel. Don't worry, it ain't gonna get me lit, it's just wine. Majim, which means to stand. We're going to say the prayers, both in Hebrew and in English. Hapan HaKodam, which means to turn and face the east. You know which way the east? Is that way? I should look for that already. So like, this way. All right. First is the Lord's Prayer. We'll read it first in Hebrew, then in English. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Chabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Chabawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. This is the power or hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Baba Kasha. Nathan Lanawa. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Call Maka'ala. Wakal Madawa. Hakak. Latahar. Ha Matazarayim. Hakak. Lahakwayam. Hamathiam. Hakak. Al Rikarawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'Hashem. Yahweh Shai. The water Aman. In the English we read, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. This is Bless Israel or Barak Yasha'Allah in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Barak Lanawa. Wa Yasha'Allah. Waha. Baya. Saparium. Barak. Ba'Hashem. Yahweh Shai. The water Aman. In the English, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew and in the English. I'll read this one a little faster though, y'all. Try to keep up. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Hahariya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Izari, Ma'ayim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Wagalka, Al-Yanawam, Shemarka, Hanala'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayishan, Shawamar, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yah, Yam Yanka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ayakaka, Wayarak, Below Yala, Yahweh, Yashemarka, Makal Rad, Yashemar, Aknapashka, Yahweh, Yashemar, Taza'atka, Wabawa'atka, Ma'aith, Wa'aidai Walam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew and then in the English. Alahayam,
Allah Hayam,
al Damiyalaka,
Al Damiyalaka,
al Takarash,
Al Dakarash,
wa al Tashakwat,
Wa Al Tashakwat,
al Kayahana,
Al Kiyahana,
Awayabyaka,
Our Yabika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
al Aimaka,
Al Imaka,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Ya'ariyamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayada,
Wayada,
Ya'itazawa,
Ya'itazawa,
al Tazapawanyaka,
Al Tazabawanyaka,
Amarawa,
Amara,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakuya,
Magaya,
Magawaya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yashab,
Iwada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa Aitazawa,
Nawa Akizawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakhadwa,
Yakagwa,
Al Yaka,
Al Yaka,
Bariyat,
Variyat,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarawathwa,
Ahalya,
Ahalyat,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa Yashamai,
Wariyashamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagariam,
Wahagari,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa'amawa,
Wa'aimalak,
Wa'amawat,
Palashat,
Palashat,
Anyashabia,
Amyashad,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum Ashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
I'm
I'm
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zorawat,
Zarawat,
Labanyalawat,
Labanyanawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadian,
Kamadian,
Kasa Sara'ah,
Kasa Sara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Banachal,
Balakal,
Koyashwan,
Yashua,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamakwa,
Ba'ayin Da'ara,
Ba'ayin Dagawat,
Hayawa, Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'anama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yabmawa,
Yamawa,
Ka'ira,
Ka'ira,
Wakazaba,
Wakazaba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakatazal,
Wakatazal,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Kal Nasir Kamwa,
Kal Nasir Kamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarasha,
Nayarasha,
Lanawa,
Linawa,
Na'awa,
Na'awa,
Alahayam,
Allahayam,
Alahaya,
Allahayat,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagogala,
Kagalgala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Roaka,
Lapanya Rawaka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Taba Ira Ya Ira,
Taba Ira Ira,
Wakalahaba,
Wakalahaba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Haryam,
Haryam,
Kan,
Khan,
Taradatma,
Taradagma,
Basa Iraka,
Masa Irika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapatka,
Rapaka,
Tabahalam,
Tabahala,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kualawan,
Kualawan,
Wayaba Kwashwa,
Wayaba Krashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayaba Hawa,
Wayaba Hawa,
Ayai,
Aya Ai,
Waya Kaparwa,
Waya Kapara,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya Abawa,
Waya Da'aiwa,
Waya the Iowa,
Kaya Atha,
Kaya Asa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Labaka,
Al Yawan,
Al Yawan,
Al Kal Ha'arataza.
Al Arataza.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the
they
head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden one.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off. off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
Let the name of Israel
may be no more remembered.
there be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal
Gabal
and Ammon
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the
the
Philistines
Philistines
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah.
They have opened the children of Lot, Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabez,
at the brook of Kisan,
at the brook of Kisan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their prince
all their prince
as Zabah
as a
and
bar
as Amunah,
and as a moon,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as a stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Blessings in the Hebrew and then in the English. Barakatah,
Barakatah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Why Yahweh Shai,
Wa Maka Allah,
Why Amaka Yahweh,
Wa Allah Hayam,
Why Hawahayam,
Matazabaya,
Matazabaya,
Allah Wap Yahana,
Alawap Yahana,
Ha Allah Wapyam,
Ha Alawapim,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Quatazayanyam,
Ha Quatasayanyam,
Ha Kayal Yalamyam,
Ha Kagayanyam,
Wa Ha Akwakyan,
Waha Awapim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashim Yahweh Shai,
Bahashim Yahweh Shai,
the water Aman.
the water Aman.
In the English, bless you Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding General Yohana,
commanding General
the
Yahweh,
generals,
the general,
the captains,
the captain,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabia means you may be seated. All right, let's go ahead and clap it up. Get started the class. All right. Most High in Christ. Right. Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakathum to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shema Alathan Hashem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. Welcome to the ISUPK Louisiana Sabbath class. We're going to go ahead and get it in. Let's see here. We'll begin with the Hebrew and then in the English. We'll read 7 verses in Hebrew and 7 verses in the English. We'll start in the book of Exodus, chapter 36. And verse 32. Again, that's Exodus 36 and verse 32. All right, beginning in Hebrew. Wa Hamasha, Wa Hamash, Bara, Barayak Kam, La Korashia, Tazala'ai, Hamashkan, Hashakayath. This up so I can see it better. Y'all also like it. La Yarath Rakath Yam Yama, verse 33. Waya Aisha Atha Ha Barayak Ha Thayakan La Baraka, Bathawaka, Ha Korashyam, Mana, Ha Kwataza, Al, Ha Kwataza, verse 34. Wa Atha, Ka Korashyam, Tazapa, Zahab, Wa Atha, Taba Itham, Aisha, Zahab, Bathyam, La Barayakam, Waya Tazapa, Atha, Ha Barayacham, Zahab, verse 35, Wa Ya Aisha, Atha, Ha Parakatha, Ta Kalaf, Wa Aragamna, Wa Tawala Aitha, Shanya, Wa Shasha, Ma Shazar, Ma Aisha, Atha, Karabayam, verse 36, Waya Aisha, La'a, Laha, Araba Aiha, I, Mawadia, Shat Yam, Waya Tazapama, Zahab, Wa Wayaham, Zahab, Wa Yatazakwa, Laham, Araba Aiha, Adanya, Kasap, verse 37, Waya Asha, Masak, La Pathakha, Ha Ahal, Thakal Tha, Wa Aragam Salaki, Wa Aragamna, Wa Thawala Aitha, Shanya, Wa Shasha, Ma Aisha, Wa Kwam, verse 38, Wa Atha, I Mawada, I Mawadia, Salaki, I Mawadia Wa, Hamash, Wa Atha, Wa Yaham, Wa Tazapa, Ra'ash Yaham, Wa Hasha, Kwa Yaham, Zahab, Wa Adan Yaham, Hamash, Nahash Shata. All right. Now in the English, Exodus 32 and verse 30. So like Exodus 36 and verse 32. So like 1 second. Exodus 36 and verse 32. And 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the tabernacle for the sides westward. Again, continuing on, this is the building of the tabernacle for the children of Israel, and it's just going over the perimeters, the diameters, the measurements that the Most High want for the tabernacle, each piece that goes in the tabernacle, where exactly it goes, and all of the instructions that the Most High is giving the children of Israel on how he wants the tabernacle set up and exactly where he wants everything. Verse 33, and he made the middle bar to shoot through the boards from the one end to the other. Verse 34, and he overlaid the boards with gold and made their rings of gold to be placed for the bars and overlaid the bars with gold. Okay. Verse 35, and he made a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. With cherubims made he it of cunning work. Verse 36, and he made. So like you always got people on TikTok that want to join in, but this Sabbath class is not that type of class where you can join in and have dialogue. You can check us out any other night. Tonight, actually, we'll be on live on TikTok, ISUPK Louisiana. You can tune in at that time. Ask whatever questions you want. During the Sabbath class, is basically the reading of the Torah or of the Bible in Hebrew and in English. All right. Verse 36, and he made thereunto 4 pillars of shittim wood and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks with gold were of gold, and he cast for them 4 sockets of silver. Verse 37, And he made an hanging for the tabernacle door of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen of needlework. Verse 38, and the 5 pillars of it with their hooks, and he overlaid their capiters and their fillets with gold, but their 5 sockets were of brass. All right, back to the Hebrew. Exodus 37 and verse 1. Exodus 37 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Waya Asha Batazal al Atha Ha'aran Aitazaya Shatayam Amathyam Wa Khatazaya Arachwa Wa Ama Wa Khatazaya Rakhabwa Wa Ama Wa Khatazaya Kwamathwa. Verse 2. Waya Tazapa Pawa Zahab Tahawar Mabayath Wa Makawataza Wa Ya'asha Lawa Zara Zahab Sabayab. Verse 3. Waya Tazakwa Salaki Waya Tazak Lawa Arabai Tabaitha Zahab Al Arabai Pa'ai Mathyawa Washath Ya Tabaitha Al Tazal Iwa Ha Achath Washathya Tabaitha Al Tazalaiwa Ashanyath. Verse 4. Waya Aisha Badya I Tazaya Shatayam Waya Tazapa Atham Zahab. Verse 5. Waya Ba'a Atha Habadyam Bata Ba'aith Il Tazala'aith Ha'aban La Sha'atha Ath Ha'aban. Verse 6. Waya Aisha Kaparath Zahab Tahawar Amathyam Wa Khatazaya Arakha Wa Ama Wa Khatazaya Ra Chaba. Verse 7. Waya Aisha Shanya Karabiam Zahab Makwasha Aisha Atham Ma Shanaya Kwatazayath Ha Ka Parath. All right, back in the English. And I understand that a lot of y'all may not be understanding what we read in Hebrew. That's why we read the English as well. It sounds like
That's so dumb.
yeah, it sounds like a bunch of yeah, but it is it's a language that it takes time to learn. Here in the ISUPK, we learn how to speak ancient Hebrew, which is Paleo Hebrew, and Assyrian Hebrew, which is the bastardized tongue, which the Jewish man writes or came up with. But we do know how to speak both transliterations of translations of the Hebrew, and we do teach it on Friday nights here in Louisiana. Officer Rawamia Allah teaches the Lashawan Kadash class, which means Hebrew language. Lashawan means the Lashawan Kadash means Hebrew language. So like, but you can learn on Friday nights. Tune in at 7 p.m. ISUPK Louisiana. Officer Rawami Allah does teach. And any of you that are in other zones, any other state, you can go to ISUPK.com, look up the different state that you're in. More than likely, you can go on YouTube and put in your city or your state that you're in. ISUPK Dallas, ISUPK Houston, ISUPK Virginia, DC, wherever you are, New York, Harlem. You can put that information in YouTube on Friday nights and tune into the class. You can like, share, and subscribe to all of our channels. That way you don't miss any content or any information that comes out. We do teach the Bible, the truth according to the Bible, and you learn your heritage, man. We do teach that the Bible is our culture. It is our history of a people, which are the Israelites, who are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the native indigenous people of North, Central, South, and South America. And all over the world, we are spread out, dispersed or scattered across the world, as the Bible says throughout the Bible. One specific scripture, book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1. All right, so that was just a brief synopsis of why you may not understand. But it's okay. That's why we read it in the English as well, because what I read in the Hebrew is the same thing that we're reading in the English. All right, Exodus 37 and verse 1. And Bezaleel made an ark of shittim wood, 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and a cubit and a half the breadth of it, and a cubit and a half the height of it. Verse 2. And he overlaid it with pure gold, within and without, and made a crown of gold to it round about. Verse 3. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, to be set by the 4 corners of it, even 2 rings upon the one side of it, and 2 rings upon the other side of it. Verse 4. And he made staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold. Verse 5. And he put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark to bear the ark. Verse 6. And he made the mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. Verse 7. And he made 2 cherubims of gold, beaten out of 1 piece, made he them on the 2 ends of the mercy seat. This is the Ark of the Covenant that he's describing. I usually have it on the table, but the Ark of the Covenant is it's like I don't want to minimalize it by calling it a box, but it is what was carried by the priest, and only the priest could carry. By them placing it in the tabernacle, this is where it is supposed to sit. But during the time of the children of Israel exodus or out of Egypt, the priests carried it. It's supposed to be carried by the priest, and only the priest can touch it. Of course, in the Bible, it does state that somebody that wasn't a priest did touch it and died. Yeah, you're not supposed to touch the Ark of the Covenant unless you are a priest of the Most High. At that time, it was the Levitical priesthood, and now we understand and know that we are under the Melchizedek priesthood, which is the priest under Christ. All right, so back in the Hebrew, we'll read, see here, verse 8 through 14. Exodus chapter 37 and verse 8. Karawab, Achad, Ma Kwataza, Mazah, Wa Kara, Salaka, Wa Karawab, Achad, Ma Kwataza, Mazah, Mana, Ha Karapa, Salaka, Ha Kapara, Aisha, Atha, Ha Karab, Yam, Mashanya, Kwa Tazawata, Kwa Tazawa, Wath. Let me read that again. Salaki. Kwa Tazawa Wathwa. Verse 9. Wa Yawa Yawa Ha Karab Yam Parashia Kanap Yam La Ma'ila Sarakaka Yam Ba Kanap Yaham Al Ha Kaparath Ayash Al Salaki. Al Yam Ha Kaparath Ha Yawa Panya Ha Karab Yam. Verse 10. Wa Ya Aisha Atha Ha Shalachan, Shalchan, I Tazaya, Shatayam, Amathyam, Arachwa, Rahawa, Harabua, Wa Ama, Wa Hatazaya, Kwamathwa. Verse 11. Wa Yatazap, Athwa, Zahab, Tahawar, Wa Ya'aisha, Lawa, Zara, Zahab, Sabayab. Verse 12. Wa Ya'aisha, Lawa, Ma Sakarath, Tapak, Sabayab, Wa Ya'aisha, Zara, Zahab, Lama, Sakarath, Wa Sabayab. Verse 13. Wa Yatazakwa, Lawa, Arabai, Tabaith, Zahab, Wa Yathan, Atha, Ha, Tabaith, Il, Arabai, Ha, Pa'atha, Ashar, La'a, Rabai, Ragal, Lawa, Yawa. Verse 14. La'amath, Hama, Tagarath, Hayawa, Hataba'ith, Bathyam, Labadium, La Sha'atha, At Hashalah Khan. Right, back in the English. Exodus 37 and verse 8. One cherub on the end on this side, and another cherub on the other end on that side. Out of the mercy seat made he the cherubims on the two ends thereof. Verse 9. And the cherubim spread out their wings on high and covered with their wings over the mercy seat. I don't know if you guys ever seen depiction of the Ark of the Covenant with the look like two beasts with big wings that are sitting on top of it, and their wings touch each other, like going over the center of the Ark of the Covenant. It's kind of hard to describe. I wish I had a picture that I could show, but yeah, but it's usually the two beasts or cherubims sit on both sides. Say this is the square here. One sits on this side, one sits on the other, and their wings spread to where they touch in the center over the Ark of the Covenant.
Almost like a protection.
Correct. Yeah, it's like a covering almost.
Okay.
All right. With their faces one to another, meaning they're facing each other, even to the mercy seatward were the faces of the cherubims. Verse 10. And he made the table of shittim wood, 2 cubits with the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. Verse 11. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made thereunto a crown of gold round about. Verse 12. He also made thereunto a border on an hand breadth round about, and made a crown of gold for the border thereof round about. Verse 13. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings upon the 4 corners that were in the 4 feet thereof. Verse 14. Over against the border were the rings, the places of the stave for the staves to bear the table. All right. Back into the Hebrew.
So I guess, sir,
Come.
if I may, I've noticed that the wood that they use to build the tabernacle, you don't hear about this wood today. Or is there another name for it today, like the shittim wood?
I'm not 100% sure on shittim wood. I know it still exists. Mm-hmm. It's probably just something that's not that's seldomly or rarely used.
Okay.
Because it's probably a rare commodity, something to come across that's rare. But I do know that it still exists.
I just looked it up on online, and apparently it can like water bugs. Like it's like a repellent for those things.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
I was looking to see what kind of wood it was.
God,
it's pretty interesting.
That's some strong wood.
Yeah.
Most High in Christ. All right, so continuing on, Exodus 37 and verse 15. Waya Aisha, Ath Habadiam, Aitazaya, Shatayam, Waya Tazapa, Atham, Zahab, Lasha'ath, Ath, Hashalakam, what verse 16. Waya Aisha, Ath Hakalayam, Ashar, Al Hashalakhan, Ath Hora'ait, Kwa Irath, Kwa Irath Yawa, Wa Atha Kapath Yawa, Wa Ath, Manakwa Yath Yawa, Wa Atha Ha Kwa Shawath, Ashar Yasap, Bahan Zahab Tahawar, verse 17. Waya Aisha, Ath Ha Manara, Zahab Tahawar, Makwasha, Aisha, Ath Hamanara, Yaraka, Wa Kwana, Gabaya Aya, Kapathar Ya, Wa Parachia, Ma Manaha, Ha Yawa, verse 18. Washasha, Kwanayam, Yatazaaya, Matazaayam, Matazad Ya, Shalashya, Shalashha, Kwanya, Manara, Matazara, Ha'achad, Wa Shalasha, Kwanaya, Manara, Matazada, Hashanya, verse 19, Shalash, Gaba'ayam, Mashakwadium, Makwana, Ha'akad, Kapathar, Wa Parak, Wa Shalash, Gaba'ayam, Mashakwadamya, Mashakwadium, Bakwana, Achad, Kapathar, Wa Parak, Lashashath, Hakwanyam, Hayatazaayam, Manaha, Manara, verse 20.
All right, so looking for the technical difficulties. If y'all can hear me, if you can put a 1 in the chat, Baba Kashar. Salaki again. If y'all can hear me on YouTube, Facebook, you can put a 1 in the chat, Baba Kashar. So let me know that you can hear me. It's back up on YouTube. Okay, Most High Christ. All right. What verse did I stop? 20? I think it was. The water. All right. Exodus 37 and verse 20. Wa bamanara haraba'ai kaba'ayam mashaquadyam kapatharaya wa parachia. Verse 21. Wa kapathar thakath shanya hakwanyam ma manaha wa kapathar thakath shanya hakwayam ma manaha wa kapathar thakath shanya hakwanyam ma manaha lashashath hakwanyam ha yatazayam ma manaha. It's like it. That's 7. Come on. All right, back in the English. I was digital, but with the technical difficulties, I'm gonna go with this shit. What was that? 14, starting at 15. No. I'm too hard with the scriptures. It's okay. I need to get back to turning these pages like that. It's all right. All right, verse 15, Exodus 37 and verse 15. And he made the staves of shittim wood and overlaid them with gold to bear the table. Verse 16. And he made the vessels which were upon the table, his dishes and his spoons and his bowls and his covers to cover withal of pure gold. Verse 17. And he made the candlestick of pure gold, of beaten work, made he the candlestick, his staff and his branch, his bowls, his note, and his flowers were of the same. Verse 18. And 6 branches going out of the sides thereof, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side thereof, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side thereof. Now this is the menorah. This is what is being described. This is just a tiny version, but this is the menorah. And as you can see on this one, they got some designs. It's not exact or to the accuracy of the scriptures, but the menorah was designed with bowls, flowers, noops, and different things like that to design it, and it was overlaid in pure gold. All right, verse 19. 3 bowls made after the fashion of almonds in one branch, and noop and the flower, and a flower, and 3 bowls made like almonds in another branch, a note and a flower. So throughout the 6 branches going out of the candlestick. Verse 20. And in the candlestick were 4 bowls made like almonds, his noops and his flowers. Verse 21. And a noop under 2 branches of the same, and a noop under 2 branches of the same, and a noop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches going out of it. All right. Back in the Hebrew, verse 22. Exodus 37 and verse 22. Kapathar Yaham wa Kwanatham ma Manaha Hayawa Kala Makwasha, Akath, Zahab, Tahawar, verse 23, Waya Asha, Ath, Narathya, Shabaiha, Wa Malakwakan, Kwaka, Ya, Wa Makath, Thaya, Zahab, Tahawar, verse 24, Kakar, Zahab, Tahawar, Asha, Atha, Wa'ath, Kal, Kalaya, verse 25. Verse 25, Wa Ya Aisha, Atha, Mazabak, Wa Kwatarath, Ai Tazaya, Shatayam, Ama, Arachwa, Wa Ama, Ra Harab, Wa, Ra Ba'awa Ai, Wa Amath Yam, Kwamathwa, Ma Manawa, Hayawa, Quaranath Yawa, verse 26, Waya Tazap, Athwa, Zahab, Tahawar, Ath, Gagawa, Wa Atha, Kwaya, Rathyawa, Sabayab, Wa Atha, Kwara, Nathyawa, Waya Aisha, Lawa, Zara, Zahab, Sabayab. Verse 27, Wa Shathya, Taba'aith, Zahab, Aisha, Lawa, Mathachath, Lazawa, Al, Shathya, Tazala'aith, Yawa, Al, Shanya, Tazadayawa, Labathyam, Labadium, Lasha'atha, Athwa, Baham. Verse 28, Waya Aisha, Ath, Atha, Habadyam, Ai Tazaya, Shatayam, Waya Tazapa, Atham, Zahab. All right, back in the English. Exodus 37 and verse 22. Their nopes and their branches were of the same. All of it was one beaten work of pure gold. 23. And he made the 7 lamps and his snuffers and his snuff dishes of pure gold. Now, this is a clear understanding, so you will know that the 9 candlestick that the so-called Jewish man has is a fake. It clearly says it's supposed to have 7. And they have 9. I mean, throughout the Bible, it will prove them to be fakes, as the scriptures say. I believe is in Revelations 3 and 9. I believe it is. I know thy works and thy tribulations and thy poverty, but thou art rich. And I know them that say they are Jews, but are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. They are not the real Jews of the Bible, man. They are fakes. All right. Continuing on, verse 24, of a talent of pure gold made he it and all the vessels thereof. Verse 25, and he made the incense altar of shittim wood. The length of it was a cubit, and the breadth of it a cubit. It was 62 cubits was the height of it. The horns thereof were of the same. Verse 26, and he overlaid it with pure gold, both the top of it and the sides thereof round about. And the horns of it also he made unto it a crown of gold round about. Verse 27, and he made 2 rings of gold for it under the crown thereof, by the 2 corners of it, upon the 2 sides thereof, to be places for the staves to bear it withal. Verse 28, and he made the staves of shittim wood and overlaid them with gold. All right, back in the Hebrew. Let me see, I think we have, 2 more sets of 7. Correct, okay. Exodus 37 and verse 29. Waya Aisha, Atha, Shaman, Ha Mashakha, Quadash, Wa Atha, Quatarath, Ha Samayam, Tahawar, Ma'aisha, Korach, verse 38 of Salaki. Exodus 38 and verse 1. Waya Aisha, Atha, Mazabak, Ha Aila, Aitazaya, Shatayam, Hamash, Amathwa, Amawath, Arakawa, Wa Hamash, Amawath, Rahabwa, Rabawai, Wa Shalash, Amawath, Kwa Mathwa, verse 2. Waya Aisha, Kwa Ranath Yawa, Al, Arabai, Panath Yawa, Ma, Manawa, Hayawa, Kwa Ranath Yawa, Waya Tazap, Athawa, Na Chashat, verse 3. Waya Aisha, Ath, Kal, Kalya, Ha Mazabak, Atha, Ha Sayara, Wa Atha, Haya Ayam, Wa Atha, Ha Ma Zarakwath, Atha, Ha Ma Zalagath, Wa Atha, Ha Ma Chathath, Kal, Kalaya, Salake, Kalayawa, Aisha, Na Chashath. Verse 4. Waya Aisha, La Mazabak, Ma Kabar, Ma Aisha, Rashath, La Chashath, Thakath, Ka Rakab, Salake, Ka Rakabwa, Malamathta, Aid, Khatazaya, Wa, verse 5. Wa Yatazakwa, Arabai, Taba'aitha, Ba'arabai, Ha Quatazawath, La Makabar, Ha Nahashath, Bathyam, Labadyam, verse 6. Waya Aisha, Atha, Habadyam, Aitazaya, Shatayam, Wayatazapa, Atham, Na Chashath. All right, back in the English. Starting at verse 28, Exodus 37 and 28. And he made the staves of shittim wood. No, I read that one. Salaki. Verse 29. And he made the holy anointing oil and the pure incense of sweet spices, according to the work of the apothecary. Exodus 38 and verse 1. And he made the altar of burnt offering of shittim wood. 5 cubits was the length thereof, and 5 cubits the breadth thereof. It was 80 cubits the height thereof. We just read prior to where they had the altar of incense. That's where they burnt incense. We usually have incense burning in here. It usually is frankincense and myrrh, which is the scents that the Most High like the smell, sweet smell and savor that we burn during Sabbath service. I just don't have them here with me today, but on the ark of incense is where the priests burnt the incense during sacrifices, and I think it was supposed to continually burn all the time, like constantly burning incense. Now we're covering the altar, or the altar where they sacrificed the different animals for sin offerings, all type of offerings that they had to sacrifice. They sacrificed on the altar that we are reading now. All right, verse 2. And he made the horns thereof on the 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with brass. Verse 3. And he made all the vessels of the altar, the pots and the shovels and the basins and the flesh hooks and the fire pans, all the vessels thereof made he of brass. Verse 4. And he made for the altar a brazen grate of network under the compass thereof beneath under the midst of it. And he cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the grate of brass to be places for the staves. If you can imagine, just think about it like this. And I've seen brothers in the school make their own, well, not make their own altars, but it's a grill. That's all that it's basically like a grill. That's where they cook the meat. That's the best way to explain it. The grate that he got on the bottom is to catch the falling stuff that falls through from the top. It's just like a grill. That's the simplest way of trying to explain it different, but that's all it is. In the scriptures, man, it's so simple that a baby should be able to understand it. And the way it's read, it's like, I don't know what they're talking about, shit'em wood and thereof and withal and all of that there. Those are old, I can't say old English terms. Those are terms or phrases. Yeah, they are old English terms that were used during the time it was transliterated from Hebrew, Greek, and Latin to English. So those words were just words that were used instead of the words that we just read in Paleo Hebrew that were actually used. But yeah, the altar, it just puts you in the mind of a grill, except it got flesh horns, it got horns and stuff on it. It does, most grills do have handles where you can lift them up, but that's the simplest form or simplest way to explain what the altar is. But this is a holy vessel. It's not to be minimized, to say the least. Let's see, verse 7. What was that, 6 or 7?
Oh, yeah, it's 7.
Verse 7? Okay, we'll sign Christ the water. No, we're going back to the
Hebrew.
Yes, correct, to the Hebrew. All right. Exodus 38 and verse 7 in the Hebrew. Wayaba'a atha habadyam ba taba'aitha il tazala aith hamazabak la sha'atha athawa baham nabawab nahath aisha'a athawa. Verse 8. Waya aisha atha ha kayawar nakashath wa atha kanwa na kashath ba maraba sarake ba maraatha ha tazabaatha ashar tazabaawa pathak ahal mawa'id. Verse 9. Waya aisha atha ha katazar la pa'atha nagab tayamana kwala aya ha khataza ha kwatazar shasha mashazar ma'a ba'ama. Verse 10. I mawad yaham I sharyam wa'a dan yaham I sharyam nachashath wa waya ha I mawad yam wa khasha kwayaham kasap. Verse 11. Wa la pa'atha tazapawan ma'a ba'ama I mawad yaham ashar yam wa'a wa adan yaham ashar yam na khashath wa waya ha I mawad yam wa khashath kwayaham kasap. Verse 12. Wa la pa'atha Salake. Wa la pa'atha yam kwala ayam kamashyam ba'ama amawad yaham aishara wa adanyaham aishara wa waya hai ha imadium wa khasha wa kwa yaham kasap. In verse 13. Wala pa'atha kwamadia salake kwadama mazaraka Chamashyam Ama. All right. Back in the English, Exodus 38 and verse 7. And he put the staves into the rings on the side of the altar to bear it withal. He made the altar hollow with boards. Verse 8. And he made the laver of brass, and the foot of it of brass, and the looking glass of the women assembling, with assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 9. And he made the court on the south side southward, the hangings of the court were of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Verse 10. Their pillars were 20, and their brazen sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. Verse 11. And for the north side, the hangings were 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets of brass 20. The hooks of the pillars of their fillets of silver. Verse 12. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. Verse 13. And for the east side eastward, 50 cubits. Verse 14. The hanging on the one side of the gate were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. Oh, I went over one. So like, yeah, I went over one. So like, get it to read. Go ahead.
So that's the distance part.
Okay.
So I heard this in my friend's church, like they're demonic, trying to release the spirit out of your house.
Understood. Now there are some forms of burning incense, sage, and all of that stuff. That is not of the Lord. That stuff is not biblical. But burning of frankincense and myrrh, though that is biblical. Burning incense is biblical. It is, I hate to use this word, but it is a ritual or a custom. That's the best word, not ritual. It is a custom of the priest to burn incense in the tabernacle of the Most High or in the temple of the Lord. So yeah, but there are everything that, let me see how to say it. So a lot of things that are used biblically, the wicked use unrighteously, if that makes sense. All right, Most High Christ. Hey, no sweat, anytime. Anybody have any other questions? Any other questions online? Anybody?
So this is all about the tabernacle.
This is all about the tabernacle that is being built. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is built out in the wilderness with the children. It is out in the wilderness with the children of Israel. It is. I don't know if you've ever seen like the depictions of how it looked. It's like a bunch of tents or like a big area out in the field or out in the wilderness. There is the Holy of Holies. There is the I forgot every last one of them. I know it's like the brazen altar, the brazen laver. The laver was like a fountain that had mirrors all around it. The altar we just described, which has the horns, which the meat was sacrificed on. The ark of incense, where the incense was burnt. The ark of the covenant, which was placed in the Holy of Holies, which was a tent that only the high priest could go into.
They were individually set up?
They were individually set up out in the wilderness. Like it's like an area that they set off that you were not allowed to just go into. And
kind of like how people do those, like when they go out and you have how when we go to the Passover, we have different vendors.
No, not necessarily. It's not like vendors. It's more. No,
oh, okay.
No, I wouldn't even compare it to the setup that we have at Passover, because the way that it's set up, you probably could not visually see it See, I've seen depictions of it. Being in the Christian church for so long, you know, they try to make a picture of everything that they read in the Bible that is most of the time very inaccurate. But I have actually seen, and I keep using the word depiction because it is just the image of what they think it is. It looks like a lot of times in the Christian church, they have it set up to look like a cross. And it looks so stupid because the cross wasn't even biblical before Christ, and Christ died in Rome, which was so far out from when it was actually set up. But it's like, say for instance, like we go camping or something, and you have tents set up, and they're in a certain formation. It's almost the same way. These tents that were set up and the areas where the pieces were set, the brazen laver, the big water fountain, looked like a big water fountain with mirrors on it, was set in the front. Then there was the big brazen laver, or the altar, not brazen laver, the brazen altar that was set where the priests did the sacrifices. Then you had the Ark of Incense that was under another tent. And then in the Holy of Holy tents, where only the high priest could go, were the Ark of Covenant and other things that I don't recall off the top of my head that only were able to be seen by the high priest. So that's all. It's just see it as like a big area where you have to walk up. Probably got priests on guard that stop you. Oh, you can't go this far. You can't do that. And an area like how we walk into Passover, and then up on the stage would be considered Holy of Holies. And then there's tents, and then there's areas before you get there, but not the vendors, just the sections that's sectioned off. And then the children of Israel were in tents all around it, like that. That's how Yonderbar, no sweat. Any other questions? No more questions? All right. That concludes the reading. With that, I say a majim, which means to stand. Hapan hakodam, which means to turn and face the east. We'll read the prayers to end the class. All right. We'll read the prayers both in Hebrew and in English. First, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latin Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatino, Kasalaknawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, or the power, in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Baba Kasha, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kal Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha Batazarayim, Hakak, Lahakuyam, Hamathyam, Hakak, Al-Rakarawa,
Al-Rakarawa,
Hatama'ala,
Hatama'ala,
Lagarshin,
Lagarshin,
Bahashim Yahushai,
Bahashim Yahushai,
Tawada Aman.
Tawada Aman.
In the English, Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Bless Israel, or Barak Yasha'Allah in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wa Yasha'Allah.
Wa Yasha'Allah.
Waha.
Waha.
Bayah.
Bayah.
Saparia.
Saparia.
Barak.
Barak.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Tawada Aman.
Tawada Aman.
In the English, Lord, in the name of Yahushai.
Lord, in the name of Yahushai.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Haharyam.
Al-Hahari.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
Azari.
Isaiah.
Azari.
Ma'ain.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Wa'aratazah.
Aratazah.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamar.
Hanala'ah.
Nala'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar. Yasha'Allah.
Yasha'Allah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamar.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazar.
Al-Yad.
Ayah.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamam.
Yamamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ayakaka.
Ayah.
Wayarak.
Ayah.
Below Yala.
Ayah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamar.
Makal Rad.
Alright.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Asnafash.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'adka.
Taza'at.
Wabawa. Salaki. Wabawa'at. Wabawa'aka.
Wabawa'aka.
Ma'aith.
Ma'aith.
Wa'aid awalam.
Ma'aith.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From which cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
All right. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew and then in the English. Al-Hayyam,
Allah
Al-Dami Al-Akah,
Al-Dawilaka,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Takarash,
wa Al-Tashakwat,
Al-Tashakwat,
Al-Kayahana,
Al-Yahawana,
Hawayabyaka,
Al-Yabaka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Aimaka,
Al-Aimaka,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Ya'ara Yawan,
Sawada,
Sawadah,
Wayaf, Salaki, Wayatha,
Wayatha,
Ya'aitazawa,
Ya'atazawa,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Al-Tazawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amara,
Lakawa,
Kawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakadam,
Magaya,
Magaya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'Allah,
Sham Yasha'am,
Iwada,
Awadah,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa'aitazawa,
Nawa'atazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakhadwa,
Yakawa,
Al-Yaka,
Ayaka,
Barya,
Barya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarafwa,
Ahalya,
Ahaya,
Adawam,
Awam,
Wa Yashamai,
Wayashamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Awa,
Wahagariam,
Wanagaria,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa'amalam,
Wa'aimalak,
Wa'amalam,
Palashah,
Palashat,
I'm Yashabia,
Amashaga,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Ram Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
I'm
Am,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Zarawai,
Sarawat,
Labangalawat,
Abayawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadian,
Kamaria,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabia,
Banakal,
Banahal,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Koyashwan,
Yashua,
Nashamadwa,
Mashamadwa,
Ba'ayin Da'ara,
Ayan Da'ara,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yabmawa,
Yabawa,
Ka'ira,
Ka'ira,
Wakazaba,
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 Wakatazal,
Wakatazal,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Kal Nasia Kamwa,
Kal Nasia Kam,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amar,
Nayarasha,
Namirasha,
Lanawa,
Nanawa,
Ah, Na'awa,
Na'awa,
Alahayam,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahayam,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagogala,
Kagala,
Kakwash,
Kwash,
Lapanya Rawaka,
Lapanya Bawaka,
Ka'ash,
Ash,
Sabaira,
Tabaira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira,
Wa Kalahaba,
Wakalahaba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Haryam,
Haryam,
Khan,
Khan,
Taradatma,
Taradat,
Basa Iraka,
Sa'ira,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapaska,
Tabahalam,
Tabahala,
Mala'a,
Ala'a,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kwalawan,
Alawan,
Wayaba Kwashwa,
Wayaga Krasha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayaba Hawa,
Wayaba Hawa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Waya Kaparawa,
Wayaga Par,
Waya Abadwa,
Wayaga Bawa,
Waya Da'aiwa,
Wayaga Iwa,
Kaya Ata,
Kayata,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Labaka,
Al Yawan,
Ayawan,
Al Kal
Alcohol,
Ha'arataza
Amarataza.
in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden one.
And consulted against thy hidden one.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
Where they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against
the tabernacles of Edom
the tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal
Gaul,
and Ammon
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah.
They have opened the children of Lot Sarah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to sincere,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their prince
all their prince,
as Zabah
as about,
and as Zamunda,
and as a moon,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy sin,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name, O Lord.
that they may seek thy name, O Lord.
Let them be confounded
Let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
name alone,
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
All right. Blessings.
Blessing.
No, this is the last one. I know. Get into it after a while. I understand. I see the Spirit of the Lord. What's that Christ? All right. Blessings in the Hebrew, then the English. Barakatah.
Barakatah,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Makaya Allah.
Wa Maka Yahweh,
Wa Alahayam.
Wa Alahayam,
Batazabaya.
Matazabaya,
Alawap Yahana.
Alawak Yahana,
Ha Alawapyam.
Ha Alawapya,
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranya,
Ha Kwatazayanyam.
Ha Kwatazayanda,
Ha Kayal Yalamyam.
Ha Kawaya Yala,
Wa Ha Akwakyan.
Wa Ha Wa
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
Ba'ashem Yahushua,
the water Aman.
the water Aman.
In the English we read, bless you Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahushai, and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angel,
commanding General Yohanan,
commanding General Yohanan,
the generals,
generals,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers, the troopers, and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh in the name of Yahushai,
Yahweh in the name of Yahushua,
thank you, so be it.
Thank you.
so be it.
And I meant troopers, not troopers. All right, Sar, which means to turn. Sisters, you may be seated. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. And I'm going to teach you how to say it today. Men of Israel, Amajim, which means like this. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim, Barak, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Barakatah. Yahweh Yahushai, Barakatah. Yajamatah, which means hands down. Sar, which means turn and face the sisters. Sisters Amajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. This is the sisters salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh, Shamar, Al, Athar, no, Al, Athar, Bahashem, Yahushai. Yeah. Yajamatah, class dismissed. Thank Christ.
Yeah, Babylon is falling to rise no more. Babylon is falling to rise no more. Falling to rise no more. To rise no more. I'm taking a look in the streets. It's real every day what I see. We constantly searching for peace. My people just wanna be free. We tired of the cell blocks and the bullshit. That lying nigga in the pulpit. Same shit, but a different